Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather with a single vision in our hearts, the vision of a world where war is no longer an option, where peace is not just a distant ideal but a shared reality. The time has come for us to challenge the forces of division, to reject violence, and to unite under the banner of peace. Prioritizing diplomacy over conflict means choosing to seek peaceful solutions rather than resorting to force or violence, and it requires a commitment to communication, understanding, and compromise. In a world where conflicts often escalate quickly due to misunderstandings, power struggles, and deeply rooted grievances, diplomacy offers a path that values human life and aims to resolve issues constructively. When leaders prioritize diplomacy, they engage in dialogue with a focus on understanding each side's needs and concerns. This approach is based on the belief that all parties involved in a conflict have legitimate interests that deserve recognition and respect. By sitting at the table, talking, and finding common ground, nations and individuals can avoid the severe costs of war. Military action may bring quick results, but its consequences are devastating, often leading to loss of life, economic collapse, and long-lasting trauma for those affected. Diplomacy, while sometimes slow, is far less destructive and creates a foundation for sustainable peace. History has repeatedly shown that conflicts resolved through diplomatic negotiations lead to longer-lasting peace than those resolved through war. Take, for example, the Camp David Accords between Egypt and Israel in 1978, brokered with the help of the United States. This agreement, which came after years of hostility, established peace between the two countries and demonstrated the power of diplomacy in transforming a region once fraught with conflict. Although not all issues were completely resolved, the accords have allowed Egypt and Israel to coexist peacefully, saving countless lives and fostering regional stability. Diplomacy also allows for creative problem-solving that military solutions cannot provide. By exploring multiple options, diplomats can work toward compromises and new arrangements that address underlying issues rather than only addressing surface-level symptoms of a problem. These solutions might include economic agreements, cultural exchanges, and joint development projects, all of which help build trust between opposing sides. When countries or groups cooperate on these initiatives, they not only resolve the immediate conflict but also establish a foundation of cooperation that can prevent future disputes. In the modern world, diplomacy has become more important than ever. Technology has made communication faster, but it has also heightened the potential for conflicts to spiral out of control due to rapid information or misinformation spread. Diplomatic channels allow for controlled, deliberate conversation that can clarify misunderstandings before they escalate. The stakes of modern warfare are extraordinarily high, and with the risks of nuclear or large-scale technological warfare, prioritizing diplomacy is not just a choice, it is a necessity. The consequences of failing to do so are unimaginable, making diplomacy the only truly viable path to preserving humanity. Choosing diplomacy over conflict isn't always easy. It often requires patience, humility, and compromise. It calls for strong leadership that is willing to listen and empathize, even in challenging situations. But the rewards are immense: peaceful, stable relationships that benefit all sides, protect human lives, and promote global development. By prioritizing diplomacy, nations and people alike commit to building a world in which conflict does not define relationships and where respect, communication, and collaboration take precedence over violence. In doing so, they create a future that holds promise for peace and stability across borders. Investing in human development is one of the most effective strategies to foster long-term peace, stability, and prosperity in societies around the world. Human development focuses on improving the quality of life for individuals by ensuring access to essential resources such as quality education, healthcare, clean water, and adequate nutrition. By addressing these fundamental needs, nations not only enhance the well-being of their populations, but also address the root causes of social instability, economic hardship, and in many cases, conflict. Prioritizing human development over militaristic approaches has a transformative effect on communities and can dramatically reduce the likelihood of war and violence in the long term. Quality education is one of the pillars of human development, empowering people with knowledge, skills, and opportunities that enable them to reach their full potential. Access to education equips individuals with critical thinking abilities, problem-solving skills, and the capacity for innovation, making them active and capable contributors to their communities. When young people are educated and skilled, they have greater access to employment opportunities, leading to improved economic stability. Education also fosters tolerance, understanding, and empathy, teaching individuals about different cultures, religions, and perspectives. This can help reduce prejudice and hostility, as educated populations are more likely to find nonviolent ways to resolve conflicts. Investing in education helps create a generation of citizens who contribute positively to their society rather than falling prey to violence and extremism. Healthcare is another critical component of human development that has a profound impact on societal stability. A healthy population is a productive population. When people are healthy, they can work, learn, and contribute meaningfully to their communities. Investment in healthcare ensures that people have access to essential medical services, vaccinations, maternal and child care, and mental health resources. Healthy communities are less susceptible to crises stemming from disease outbreaks, which can lead to panic, economic disruption, and sometimes even conflict. Furthermore, access to mental health support is vital, as unresolved trauma and mental illness can contribute to cycles of violence within families and communities. When individuals receive proper healthcare and mental support, they are more resilient and better equipped to face life's challenges, reducing the risk of instability. Adequate nutrition and access to clean water are fundamental to human survival and development. Malnutrition and hunger create significant social problems, including poor academic performance, lower productivity, and increased health issues, all of which hinder development. In regions where food and water resources are scarce, competition for these essentials can lead to tensions and ultimately conflict. By investing in sustainable agricultural practices and infrastructure for clean water, governments and organizations can help secure these basic needs, thereby reducing conflict over resources. Ensuring access to nutritious food and clean water supports healthy, capable individuals who can focus on building their futures rather than struggling for survival. Economic development, as a result of investing in human capital, drives sustainable growth and stability. When people have access to job opportunities and fair wages, they can support their families and contribute to the economy. Economic stability fosters a sense of security, discouraging individuals from engaging in crime or joining extremist groups due to financial desperation. Additionally, economies with a strong human capital base attract more investment, both locally and internationally, creating a cycle of prosperity that benefits everyone. This economic empowerment helps reduce inequalities within societies as marginalized communities gain access to opportunities that improve their living standards. Addressing economic disparity is vital in the pursuit of peace, as vast inequalities often contribute to resentment, social unrest, and ultimately conflict. Human development also plays a crucial role in addressing issues related to gender equality, which is fundamental to a peaceful society. Investing in women's education, healthcare, economic opportunities not only improves their lives, but also benefits entire communities. Educated and empowered women are more likely to participate in decision-making processes, advocate for social and political changes, and contribute to economic growth. Studies have shown that societies with greater gender equality experience lower levels of violence and conflict. By fostering gender equality through human development initiatives, communities become more inclusive and resilient, which is essential for lasting peace. In sum, investing in human development creates a ripple effect, fostering stability, reducing poverty, and building a more equitable society. When people have access to education, healthcare, nutrition, and economic opportunities, they are empowered to build better lives for themselves and future generations. They become active participants in their communities and are more likely to support peaceful and constructive approaches to conflict resolution. Human development addresses the root causes of conflict, creates a culture of empathy and understanding, and encourages collaboration and resilience. By prioritizing human development, societies take a proactive stance in creating a peaceful and sustainable future, allowing all individuals to live with dignity, hope, and purpose. Fostering global solidarity and unity is essential in today's interconnected world, where challenges and crises cross borders, impacting people regardless of nationality, culture, or socioeconomic status. In a world increasingly divided by political, cultural, and economic differences, fostering unity allows for collaborative problem solving, promotes peace, and empowers individuals to work together toward common goals. Global solidarity calls for an emphasis on shared humanity, collective action, and respect for diversity, forming the foundation for a peaceful and resilient international community. A key component of global solidarity is the recognition of shared humanity. Regardless of background or beliefs, all people desire safety, happiness, and opportunities for themselves and their loved ones. Understanding this universal reality can help to break down prejudices and encourage empathy, as it reminds us that our similarities far outweigh our differences. Recognizing shared humanity also allows people to see beyond stereotypes and form authentic connections based on respect and mutual understanding. When nations and individuals focus on the common goals of well-being and security, they become less likely to engage in conflict and more willing to resolve disagreements peacefully. Cultural exchange plays a significant role in building global solidarity by promoting mutual respect and understanding. When people are exposed to different cultures, perspectives, and ways of life, they gain a deeper appreciation for the diversity that exists in the world. This understanding fosters respect and reduces the likelihood of cultural misunderstandings or biases that can lead to conflict. Cultural exchange can take many forms, including international education programs, arts exchanges, and language learning initiatives, all of which contribute to a more inclusive worldview. When people from diverse backgrounds come together and celebrate each other's cultures, they strengthen the bonds of friendship, trust, and solidarity across borders. Global solidarity also requires collective action in addressing pressing global issues such as climate change, poverty, and health crises. These issues do not respect borders and demand a united response from the international community. Climate change, for instance, affects vulnerable regions most severely, leading to rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and resource shortages that increase tensions and at times conflict. When nations come together to address these challenges, as seen in agreements like the Paris Climate Accord, they contribute to a safer, more sustainable world. The COVID-19 pandemic further underscored the importance of global cooperation as countries had to work together to share resources, knowledge, and vaccines to mitigate the spread of the virus. These examples demonstrate that challenges on a global scale can only be effectively addressed when nations act in unity, pooling resources and expertise to protect the well-being of all. Promoting economic justice and reducing global inequalities is another essential aspect of fostering solidarity. Economic disparity between countries and within societies fuels resentment, instability, and, in some cases, violence. Wealthier nations can foster global unity by supporting economic development programs, investing in sustainable infrastructure, and providing fair trade opportunities to developing nations. By promoting equitable access to resources and opportunities, countries contribute to global stability and goodwill as people feel that they have a stake in a shared future. Addressing global economic inequalities not only helps lift communities out of poverty, but also prevents the social and political tensions that can lead to conflict. Educational initiatives that promote global citizenship and human rights awareness are also essential to building global solidarity. When people understand their rights and responsibilities within the global community, they are more likely to support initiatives that foster peace and justice. Educational programs can teach young people about the importance of empathy, cultural appreciation, and active participation in their communities and beyond. Schools, universities, and organizations around the world are increasingly incorporating global citizenship education, encouraging students to consider how their actions impact others and to take a stand against inequality and injustice. By cultivating a generation of globally minded individuals, these initiatives help build a more inclusive, tolerant, and united world. Building global solidarity also involves addressing historical injustices and acknowledging past wrongs. The scars left by colonialism, exploitation, and discrimination still affect societies today, leading to mistrust and divisions between nations and communities. By recognizing these historical wrongs and working toward reconciliation, countries can foster a sense of healing and create opportunities for cooperation. For example, governments and institutions can acknowledge the impacts of past policies and work toward reparative measures that bridge divides and promote unity. Addressing these legacies helps to build trust between nations, allowing for collaboration based on mutual respect and understanding. Technology and communication are powerful tools that can support global solidarity. Social media and digital platforms allow people from around the world to connect, share their stories, and raise awareness about global issues. These platforms give a voice to marginalized communities, enabling them to participate in global conversations and advocate for their rights. Technology has made it possible for social movements, like environmental activism and human rights advocacy, to gain global support and impact. By using these tools to amplify diverse voices and spread messages of unity, technology can help bridge gaps and encourage collaboration on a global scale. In conclusion, fostering global solidarity and unity is vital for creating a peaceful, prosperous, and resilient world. By emphasizing shared humanity, respecting cultural diversity, addressing global issues collectively, promoting economic justice, and educating future generations, the international community can build bridges of trust and cooperation that transcend national boundaries. In a world marked by complex challenges, unity offers the most effective path forward, enabling people to work together and creating a future where everyone can thrive. Advocating for justice and equality is fundamental to building a peaceful, stable, and inclusive society. Justice ensures that all individuals, regardless of background, are treated fairly and have access to their rights, while equality aims to provide everyone with the same opportunities and protections. Together, these principles form the foundation of a harmonious society, fostering trust, cooperation, and respect among diverse groups. Advocacy for justice and equality is a proactive stance against discrimination, inequality, and the systemic barriers that hinder potential. When societies prioritize these values, they address root causes of conflict, reduce tensions, and pave the way for enduring peace and development. One of the key elements of advocating for justice and equality is addressing systemic discrimination and inequality. These issues often stem from historical and structural injustices that have disproportionately impacted marginalized communities, including racial minorities and women, the LGBTQ community, and those living in poverty. Systemic discrimination denies people access to basic rights, such as quality education, healthcare, employment opportunities, and housing, leaving them excluded from the benefits and protections that society offers. Advocacy efforts focus on dismantling these inequities by implementing policies and practices that promote equal access to resources, representation in decision-making, and protection against bias. For example, affirmative action policies, fair housing laws, and inclusive hiring practices can help reduce disparities and ensure that everyone has the chance to succeed. In promoting justice and equality, a crucial aspect is ensuring access to fair legal systems that protect the rights of all individuals. Legal systems serve as the backbone of justice in any society, yet in many places, marginalized communities face bias and unfair treatment within the justice system, such as disproportionately higher rates of incarceration, harsher sentencing, or denial of legal representation. Advocacy for legal reform includes calling for accountability in law enforcement, fair trials, and an end to discriminatory practices that target certain groups. By working to create an equitable legal system, societies protect individuals' rights and build a culture of trust where people feel that justice is accessible and impartial. This effort also promotes accountability, reducing the likelihood of abuses of power and ensuring that those in positions of authority uphold the values of fairness and justice. Education is another powerful tool in advocating for justice and equality. Through education, individuals gain awareness of their rights, learn to recognize injustice, and become empowered to take a stand against it. By incorporating human rights, social justice, and anti-discrimination topics into school curricula, societies can nurture informed, empathetic, and socially responsible citizens from a young age. Education can also promote critical thinking, encouraging individuals to question existing power structures, recognize inequality, and advocate for positive change. Educated individuals are more likely to speak out against injustices, participate in social and political movements, and work toward an inclusive society. Furthermore, inclusive education programs that cater to diverse learning needs ensure that all children, regardless of ability, gender, or background, have equal opportunities to learn, grow, and contribute to society. Economic equality is an essential component of justice and equity, as economic disparities often contribute to social tensions, resentment, and instability. Advocates for economic justice work to create fair access to jobs, equitable pay, affordable housing, and financial support systems that address poverty. By prioritizing policies that lift people out of poverty and reduce income inequality, societies foster a sense of shared prosperity and reduce the economic barriers that limit individuals' opportunities. Initiatives like a living wage, universal health care, and affordable education can level the playing field, empowering individuals and families to improve their circumstances and contribute positively to society. Economic justice not only reduces poverty, but also strengthens communities as people feel valued and capable of building secure, stable lives for themselves and future generations. Health equity is also crucial in advocating for justice, as access to healthcare remains a significant barrier for many individuals, particularly in underserved and marginalized communities. Health disparities arise from various factors, including income, race, geography, and access to resources, often resulting in poorer health outcomes for disadvantaged groups. Advocates for health equity strive to eliminate these disparities by ensuring that all people, regardless of background, can access quality healthcare. Policies aimed at reducing healthcare costs, expanding services in rural and low-income areas, and increasing awareness about preventive care are steps toward achieving health equity. Access to healthcare is a basic human right, and by promoting health justice, societies not only improve individual well-being, but also build healthier, more resilient communities. Another essential aspect of advocating for justice and equality is amplifying the voices of marginalized communities and ensuring their representation in decision-making processes. When people from diverse backgrounds are represented in government, business, and community leadership, their perspectives and experiences shape policies and decisions, making them more inclusive and effective. Representation empowers individuals to advocate for their rights and helps to ensure that all voices are heard in shaping society's future. Efforts to increase representation in leadership roles, such as gender quotas in political offices or initiatives to support minority-owned businesses, help create a society that values and reflects its diversity. But ultimately, advocating for justice and equality is about creating a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and contribute, regardless of their background. It requires addressing systemic injustices, reforming institutions, and promoting policies that protect human rights. Advocacy for justice and equality is a collective commitment to building a world that celebrates diversity, values every individual's potential, and actively works to eliminate discrimination. In doing so, societies create a foundation for peace, stability, and shared progress as individuals and communities are empowered to live with dignity, security, and respect.